I'm Danielle.
I'm Lily.
And I'm Enoch, and our theme is sustainability. Sustainability deals with finding a way to keep our environment stable. It is creating and maintaining conditions that allow humans to thrive.
It is the year 2118 and the Earth is almost uninhabitable. There aren't any more fossil fuels. The supply became scarce 20 years ago and now they're finally gone. Bill, the energy scientist, was working in his lab trying to come up with renewable energy sources that wouldn't cause further damage.
He is growing quite tired of these awful conditions where the energy isn't plentiful and the environment is in peril. He comes across old research on solar energy and decides to take a deeper look. After brushing up on solar energy and its benefits, Phil comes to the conclusion that creating solar panels would be the best way to get the energy the Earth needs.
Solar energy is renewable and it doesn't cost anything to transmit. When Phil was doing his research, he discovered that in the year 2050, another scientist named Rob figured out how to capture the sun's energy, store it, and with the help of Dr. Bill, he converted it into different forms. There was even a new material created, where one side was thick enough to absorb the sun's energy and the other side was thin enough to transport it. Scientist Phil was amazed, but there was still one problem.
Phil knew he wanted to use solar panels to absorb the solar energy and make it into electricity so that he could power all the homes in America, but he couldn't figure out how many it would take. He decided to use a simulation to help him conduct an experiment for 1 week. He would use this week to see how many solar panels are needed to power one house in the US.
Making solar energy economical is a topic surrounding sustainability because we have to find an energy source that is efficient, renewable, doesn't hurt our environment, and is a resource that we can afford.
Our model shows how many solar panels Phil is using over the course of a week. Linearly, on day 1 of the simulation, he used 32 panels. On day 2, he used 30. On day 3, he used 28, and so on. He's decreasing his amounts by 2 every day.
Phil realizes that the total amount of solar panels he is using was much more than expected. On day 2, he had already used 62. On day 3, he was up to 90, and days 4 total was 116, and so on. Converting it into different forms and figuring out how to store it was problems that previous scientists already dealt with, but using this large amount of solar panels would be expensive in the real world. Bill got lucky with using a simulation, but if this energy source is going to stick, he needs to learn how to minimize the amount he uses.
Solar panels are important factors of sustainability because solar energy is a renewable energy source, and with this we can stop using non-renewable energy sources that are bad for the environment, such as digging for fossil fuels.
So, this scenario is important to our Grand Challenge theme because it addresses finding a new way to help our environment in a way that still allows us to thrive, but also discusses problems that we may face when trying to implement the solution, such as cost.